which accidentally became Meta Advanced Tactical Agency, Ejen, after using a Infinity Retinal Intelligence System, IRIS. The device prototype created by the Mata, IRIS is controlled by the neural signals enabling the wearer to perform actions programmed by the computer. After the incident, Ali and his uncle Bakar cooperate in Mata mission. The series is published in HDTV format and was first broadcast on the TV3 on 8 April 2016. Ejen Ali is the first animation series as the intellect property of the Media Prima Berhad (MPB). Ali is a boy which accidentally became a Mata agent after using an Infinity Retinal Intelligence System, IRIS, a device prototype created by the Mata, but uses the energy of the user to work. IRIS has been synchronized for Ali. Therefore, only Ali is capable of using it. Then he became a permanent agent and practiced as an agent. He is a boy who did not excel in class and always came late to the school. He has a best friend named Victor. Ali's weapon is a yo-yo that can shoot shockwave. Ali also has a pair of arrow books which is connected to the iris to help Ali jump further. The first episode was broadcast on 8 April 2016. Ejen Ali is an action, adventure, comedy and the animation and the spy fiction animation series. Using Malay as the language medium, Ejen Ali is acceptable by the various ages of people. Ejen Ali has entered the market since the 8 April 2016 with the first show. It consists of the 13 episodes in season 1 and the last episode was broadcast on the 3rd March 2017. Before the release of the Ejen Ali WOW animation with the collaboration with the Media Prima Digital release its own game which is Ejen Ali Mata Training Academy for Android and iOS users on 4th March 2016. The game that was downloaded for the over 260,000 times. The second game, Ejen Ali Emergency, was released for iOS and Android in the September 2016. Both games have succeeded to win the medals of the Mob X Awards 2017. Ejen Ali Mata Training Academy won the three golds which were Best Apps Creativity, Best Apps Media Honor and the Best Apps for the tablet, and 1 bronze which was the Best App Games and the Entertainment, while Ejen Ali Emergency won the 1 gold for the Best Apps Games and the Entertainment and 1 bronze for the Best Apps for tablets.
Ejen Ali has been in the market almost a year with the first season successfully broadcast on television. Ejen Ali is expected to continue under the 5th season and the world animation is worked on it, where the season 2 is under progress. Ejen Ali targets the rich audience across the board. The flat of the families and friendly, where it is targeted more towards teenagers and young adults, and the people who watching animation and afraid the storytelling side of the things. Market strategy used for wild animation to marketing Ejen Ali is they are partnering with Media Prima Berhad as their marketing arm. Ejen Ali is a co-owned team where they have 50% of the rights in the media, have the rights, and they can use the platform to market the show. The Media Prima's owner TV3, one of the most watched channels in Malaysia. The Media Prima has all the sorts of the different media platforms covered, like press, radio, digital, and ground events. How about Ejen Ali goes internationally across Ahmad Ismail Omar, CEO of Prime Work Studio. Ejen Ali received a very good feedback from international countries such as Indonesia, Middle East, Sri Lanka, North Africa to enter international markets. Ejen Ali animation series recorded an expected demand in Indonesia. they are more comfortable to let their children to watch the Ejen animation series rather than letting their children watching nonsense cartoons that bring non-benefits to their kids. Ejen favorites for kids, and children like it because the language that used is more appropriate for children to understand, and they easily to understand the storyline. Besides that, the storyline of Ejen has been inspired the children, where the children can learn something new every day and apply it for good deed done by Ejen living. According to Nasim, marketing executive of Prime Books distributed from the first taste itself, Ejen managed to get a few higher bids from the international television stations, from scabbering among themselves to get the broadcasting rights and rights of the animation series for their own country. The seller price of Ejen is now a part with other products from the other country.
Politics of Indonesia take place in the framework of a presidential representative democratic republic, whereby the President of Indonesia is both head of state and head of government, and of a multi-party system. Executive power is exercised by the government. Legislative power is vested in both the government and the two people's representative councils. The judiciary is independent of the executive and legislature. The 1945 Constitution provided for a limited separation of executive, legislative, and judicial power. The governmental system has been described as presidential with parliamentary characteristics. Following the Indonesian riots of May 1998 and the resignation of President Suharto, several political reforms were set in motion by amendments to the Constitution of Indonesia, which resulted in changes to all branches of government. Indonesian economic growth is doing well. The Indonesian economy expanded 4.94% year-on-year in the December quarter of 2016, compared to a marginally revised 5.01% growth in the third quarter, while market estimated as 5.07% expansion. It was the slowest growth since the March quarter, as a slowdown in private consumption and a further decline in government spending offset a rebound in exports and a faster increase in investment. Considering full 2016, the GDP grew by 5.02% compared to an upwardly revised 4.88% expansion in 2015 and slightly below market expectation of a 5.03% growth. GDP annual growth rate in Indonesia averaged 5.30% from 2000 until 2016. Reaching an all-time high of 7.16% in the fourth quarter of 2004 and a record low of 1.56% in the fourth quarter of 2001. Indonesia is a diverse and vibrant country with a wide and varied mix of traditional and modern culture. Over the years, the islands have been influenced by Indian, Chinese, Arabic, and European cultures, creating a unique blend of Eastern and Western traditions. Western culture has influenced Indonesia most in modern entertainment such as television shows, movies, and songs. India has notably influenced Indonesian songs and movies. A popular type of song is the Indian rhythmical dangdut, which is often mixed with Arab and Malay folk music. Despite the influences of foreign culture, some remote Indonesian regions still preserve uniquely indigenous culture. Indigenous ethnic groups of Mentawai, Asmat, Dani, Dayak, Toraja, and many others are still practicing their ethnic rituals, customs, and wearing traditional clothes.
Importation in Indonesia of cinematographic film exposed and developed is a subject to the custom duty of 10%. Custom duty on publicity and advertising and promotional materials will happen to the particular type of goods. For example, some advertising material is free of custom duties while others is generally subject to the custom duties of 5%. The value of the custom duties and the value added of taxes is calculated at the point of the importation and is the customs value plus overseas freight and insurance. The Indonesian government regulation of the imported films and the series have been in line with the World Trade Organization WTO valuation agreement, which has the ratified in 1994, adopted in the 1995, and changed with the 2006 customs and regulation on the values of the duties. The regulation stipulates that imports films are given to the HS codes 3706 with the import duties of 10%, import value added of the 10%, and the import income taxes of 2.5%. The regulation has been placed since the 1995, but in 2010 was resisted the regulation and the added royalty fees.
Only to enter Indonesian market, Ejen Ali might face the competitions from the Malaysia animation series such as Bobo Boy by Animastar Studio and Upin and Ipin by less corporate studio. Two of the animations have won the Indonesian Mind and Heart by their storyline and character. Besides that, animation series from Indonesia itself, such as Ulis by PPFN and Japanese mangas turned cartoon Doraemon might came into the frame of another big competitor in the same industry. We do believe with the good storyline that full of moral value and inspired spirit, Ejen Ali might shine bright in Indonesia, like what Bobo Boy and Upin and Ipin have achieved. We came into a conclusion that Ejen Ali should enter Indonesia market. Bobo Boy and Upin is a very good example for Ejen Ali to take a big step to enter Indonesia market. If both of the animation manage to win the heart and the mind of Indonesian people, therefore there are no reason for Ejen Ali not to enter Indonesia market. Indonesia is a very attractive spot for Ejen Ali to enter because Indonesia is quite similar like Malaysia in the term of culture, language and lifestyle. Both Malaysians and Indonesians have a very collective culture where the society's value obeys the rules and the respect of the elders by understanding and independent to each other person in the communities. This is very good things to take advantage of this culture because it would be very easy for Indonesian people to adopt and understand Ejen Ali's animation series.
The most suitable entry strategy for Ejen Ali is exporting the animation series. Exporting is the most traditional and well-established form of operating in foreign markets. Exporting can be defined as the marketing of goods produced in one country into another, which no direct manufacturing is required in an overseas country. Significant investment in marketing are required. The tendency may be not to obtain as much detailed marketing information as compared to manufacturing in marketing country. However, this does not negate the need for a detailed marketing strategy. While animation can cooperate with the Global TV Indonesia and Television Pendidikan Indonesia (TPI) to market Ejen Ali animation series, the Ejen Ali series may subjected to changes in terms of language used, where the language might be changed to Indonesian language, or the world animation need to put subtitle in Indonesian so that Indonesian will understand better the storyline. Although Malaysia and Indonesia have quite similar language and understandable by both countries, but there are some language barriers where the meaning of similar words might be different. Cooperation with Global TV Indonesia or TPI might ease the Ejen Ali to enter Indonesia market. The product will be marketed by the corporation and the animation series can reach most of the Indonesian citizens because these two corporations has been established a long time in Indonesia. The export of the animation series via this corporation might give a good impact in terms of rating, followers and also profits for both Wow Animation and Indonesia Corporation.